What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Claim Insider Pro, navigating your way through the card benefits. Today we will talk about travel benefits, okay, that are included in these card benefits, okay? So two of the most common ones, excuse me, is trip delay, and then there's trip cancellation and interruption. Again, to be eligible for these benefits, most of the claim administrators require that you use the actual credit card that's covered to purchase these common carrier tickets, right, for your trip. So it could be the flight ticket, a train, cruise. It has to be purchased with your credit card. It varies between credit card companies and the programs as to whether you have to pay the whole entire cost of the trip. Some I have seen where they only have to pay partially with the covered card, but that's very rare. So I think it's best to just, if you plan to be covered, to be protected, and you have these benefits, make sure that you, try to pay the whole cost of the trip with that credit card. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive into the trip cancellation one first, okay, which is a little more usual than the trip delay ones. Even though these days I'm seeing a lot of trip delays because of what's going on with the airlines these days. So trip cancellation and interruption. Now, if you have to cancel the trip, let's say you book it, right, you pay with your credit card, you have it scheduled for a certain date, departure date. Something happens and you have to cancel the trip, right? Now, there are certain reasons let me rephrase that. There are certain covered reasons of why you would be reimbursed for a trip cancellation. One of them is if, let's say, you get sick, okay, or you have an illness that prevents you from taking the trip, from taking the flight, the cruise, etc. In those cases, of course, the insurance company is going to ask for you to provide a letter from the doctor, from the medical practitioner, advising you or recommending that you do not fly because of whatever the condition. They don't tend to go into too much detail as to what is the diagnosis. There's no exclusions. It just has to be an illness, sickness, or accident that happened that caused you not to be able to fly. So, again, if you plan to use a benefit like this, make sure that, you'll get that doctor's note or letter indicating that information, right? What else can we say about trip cancellation? Now, usually the coverage, you're covered from when the trip was purchased, from the date it starts from the date that you purchase a trip up to the departure date. So if anything like that happens, you're covered, right, for that time period. Another thing that can also be a reason for you be canceling the actual trip would be if a family member dies or suffers some sort of accidental injury or disease or physical illness that's either life-threatening or it requires some care from a doctor. And another one would be usually if let's say the actual common carrier cancels it because of financial insolvency, right? Which is rare. I don't see that one much. But yeah, those usually are the three main reasons. Now, it varies between credit cards and programs. Some have more reasons, like, for example, weather delays, there's a weather, severe weather that's not allowing you to go, and it gets canceled, right? That's one of the reasons there. So basically what this benefit does for trip cancellation and interruption is it reimburses you, for the non-refundable common carrier ticket, right? Because if you cancel because of these reasons, most of the time you're not going to be able to, you won't get a refund from the airline, right? And it all depends on the policy for the airline. So that is something that the insurance companies usually require, is the policy for that actual airline, like the terms and conditions, so we can see what is it that they would be able to, if there's any refund applicable and so forth, right? Because we reimburse you whatever is not refunded. So that's important for you to get. It's important to make sure that when you do file these claims that you have all of the information, like the flight itinerary, legible, and it shows clearly why it was canceled. Again, the doctor's note is evidently something that can give the insurance company the proof that that's the reason that you were not able to travel, right? When it comes to the other reasons, like the financial insolvency, we need something from the airline that basically gives us that information. Again, your credit card bill showing the charge when you initially booked the trip. That's important. Make sure that's legible. What else? If you can, try to avoid sending too many documents, because just frankly speaking, it can confuse the adjuster. I know that you expect an adjuster to do their job, a claim adjuster, and they're the professionals. Yes, most adjusters are efficient workers. They take their position serious. They're very meticulous. However, unnecessary documentation can cause confusion at times and delay your claim, or even increase the chances of the adjuster missing relevant data. So try to keep it simple. As far as the instructions on that acknowledgement letter I was telling you about, usually tells you what what the insurance company requires for us to process the claim. So make sure that those things are clear. There's not too many, flight itinerary is usually 1 or 2 pages. The billing statement, just submit the billing statement for that, for that proof of that purchase. Any doctor letter, just 1 page or 2. Doesn't have to be 80, 60 documents. And, again, I'm saying that because it does happen. Sometimes it's pictures we don't need, just information that's not really necessary. So this increases your chances of having your claim process more smooth in a timely fashion without any miscommunication or interruption. No point. So that's the trip cancellation one, right? In a nutshell. Again, it's good to look at your terms and conditions for your program. Some terms and conditions are given to you by the claim administrator or the credit card company when you do, opt in for these programs, or they're available on a website where you can go for that particular claim administrator, and you'll be able to pull up your terms and to see what's covered, what's not covered, the definitions, and so forth. Trip delay. This one is just basically, the name says it all. If your trip is delayed, right? And normally it's for a certain time frame it has to be delayed for. For a certain amount of hours. From what I've seen, it's 6 hours. I've seen some where there has to be delayed at least 24 hours. But for the most part, it shouldn't be that many hours on most of these programs. So the trip delay could be due to, certain things like the airline. Again, the airline canceling because of a weather delay, severe weather. And instead of this one reimbursing you for the non-refundable common carrier ticket costs, is usually to reimburse you for expenses that you've had while the delay occurred. So things that you require to buy that you were not expecting to buy because you just need, say for example, some entertainment. And yes, it does cover entertainment, usually within the confines of the airport. So be careful with that. Look at your terms and conditions again. It could also, for let's say spas, you might want to use a spa. Lodging, that's a big one. If you need to basically stay at a hotel because of the delay, things like that. Again, the reasons are usually the same across the board, some differ. So make sure to go ahead and look at those terms and conditions. So travel benefits, again, using your card to make you eligible to purchase these common carrier tickets. It's a good thing, I think, as opposed to you just buying the ticket, maybe getting some other insurance that, all these credit card companies usually are asking for is that you use the credit card. It's not an additional premium. But yes, the travel benefits are definitely some of the most popular claims as well. It picks up around the summer when everybody starts traveling. So it's a good thing to have. Again, the main one with those is try to keep the documentation simple, clear, and work with the adjuster. There's a request and you're not understanding, it's good to maybe call, get clarification. There's customer service representatives who can check the adjuster's notes and they'll be able to assist you, or you can even request to speak to an adjuster and the adjuster can give you a call back. And I think phone calls do resolve a lot of confusion as opposed to just emailing back and forth. Well, because a lot of these letters are standard, they're generic. But when you talk to somebody and you explain to them why is it that we need it, what is it that we need, it makes things go a little bit smoother. So have some patience with that, but please communicate with the administrator if there's an issue. They're there contrary to a lot of the public belief that insurance companies don't want to pay anything. Listen, there's nothing more than what the adjusters do want to go ahead and have your claim processed. They don't want to be able to, hold your claim up for no reason. Adjusters do get audited, so they need to make sure they're processing everything based on the guidelines that they have, on the terms and conditions of your program. So it's not a personal thing where they're just not trying to pay your claim, contrary to what most people believe about insurance companies. That's not the case. So it's nothing better than just to work with you and communicate with you and be able to process it. We want to definitely get the claims as processed so we can keep it moving. We get large volumes. Companies get large volumes of claims, and sometimes they're short-staffed. Not many adjusters are available. People are calling out. People are on a leave. So there's nothing more that we want to do than to process your claims, and keep it moving, and hopefully that it will make you whole and we process with integrity as much as we can. So understand that, please. We're here to work with you. If there's a request, if you're not sure about it, if something is pending, I think it's best to contact the company and get it straightened out. Okay, so that's it. That concludes today's video on travel benefits. I will be adding another video to the series with any extra travel benefits that might not be on all credit cards, but on some credit cards they are available. It's kind of like a bonus benefit, but I'll explain that in a later video. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I am the Claim Insider Pro. I'm just helping you navigate through your card benefits. Until next time, have a great day. Take care.